Hello, everyone, and thanks for checking out Everyday Short Stories Chapter 3. This month's theme was family. The stories were powerful, funny, and thought provoking. This story is called, with apologies to Nick Hornby, My Top 10 Families of All Time.
Okay, so I took a little different take on this. And with apologies to Nick Hornby, here are my personal top 10 families of all time. Number 10 is the Brady Bunch, which is, I guess, more of a bunch than a family, but I feel like it was the first time I'd ever heard the word family spoken out loud, like on TV. I guess it was sung. But I was young and I was growing up outside of Chicago, and it was just me and my older brother and my mom and my dad. And then there was this Brady's that really grabbed my attention. There were like a lot of them, and they spoke to each other often and sometimes about their feelings. And they had a housekeeper and a pet. It was all strange and fascinating to me. I mean, the Addams Family was not my speed. It was like, it's like just a family of monsters. A giant. It's like a hat on a hat. You don't. It's a big family. It's fine. You don't need to make them monsters. And I kind of spent some time around the Andy Griffith family, but I must have missed the pilot or the origin story of that, so I had no idea why the little round old lady was around there. Did not understand her, what she was a part of. So I stuck to my sort of oversaturated Von Trapp family in the valley somewhere with incredibly low stakes problems, helping each other out. And a side note, now I live on the same street as the Brady house. Whoa. So that's number 10. Number 9, my own family. This would be my aforementioned mom, dad, and older brother. I know you're judging me for putting them number 9 on a list of 10, but if I'm honest, that's a little high. That's mean. That's harsh. They raised me, they fed me, they gave me an education, they oftentimes remembered to pick me up. And I turned out all right. It just wasn't my favorite family in the world, you know? We were very quiet, we were solitary and bookish, and I think that's what happens when two professors raise two sort of mildly, on my part, intelligent and very intelligent on my brother's part. So they were political science professors who did not die and remarry another person with a bunch of other kids, so it was really boring. And we had to clean our own house once a week, which really sucked. But there's nothing wrong with some peace and quiet and reflection, and I still crave that today with Betsy's family, which is very, very large. But the Winters took it to a whole other level of this quiet solitude, and I vaguely remember thinking, I think we've set the record for the longest period of time that 4 people can live in a house and not say a word. And I think it was 23 days. That's a joke. All right, number 8, the Gallaghers. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this. I love Oasis, Noel and Liam. Watch the documentary Supersonic. If you have any problems with anyone in your family, they look minute compared to these guys. Number 7, the Wrenches. They're not famous. They're just my friend Andy Wrench, and he had a great family. They weren't very far away. They were always down with me coming over. His parents were also nerds, which helped, like mine. But they were not like political science nerds. They were like music nerds, which was a whole other thing. His father played clarinet in the Naperville community band. His mom was like in a choir or something. And Andy and his brother Danny and I would play Beatles songs for hours just in our room, in his room. And his little sister would stay the fuck away from us. And it was great. And when we got blisters on our fingers, Andy and I had figured out technology to overdub Brady Bunch episodes with our voices on microphones. And it was really the first improvising I ever did. and this was my voice for Alice. It was a little first thought, but I was only in junior high. So, and I remember the episode, the Don't Play Ball in the House when Bobby smashes the vase. It was a great episode about Bobby being addicted to huffing glue. It was so good, because they had to go to the glue place a bunch. Okay, number 6 is the Huxtables, which is such a bummer that Bill Cosby turned out to be that, because that's a real bummer, because now that one's forever tainted. But we'll move on. But growing up in a 97% white suburb, I needed to check in with the Huxtables so badly every weekend. Number 5, the Keatons. I know we're a little stuck in TV land, but I clung to TV, hence my family being number 9. So I even went through a week-long phase where I sort of tried out being Alex P. Keaton, and I wanted to I'm just gonna be into money. That's my thing. I just want to make money. And my father humored me, and he was very nice, and he never brought it up again, which was great, because I bailed on it. And I think the fact is I liked the Keatons because they were like my parents, but not boring. And I felt like if I was Alex, I'd be me, but not boring. That's my logic. Number 4, the Obamas. Barack's far from the perfect president. We don't have time to go into why, but family, come on. The family, you gotta give it up. They're the best. All right, number 3, just edging out the Obamas, the Bachmans. Another family you don't know. They grew up in Naperville. Unlike the Wrenches, that family, not nerds. It was amazing. Totally different world. His mother was never not at the kitchen table smoking. Parliament hundreds. Amazing. She was amazing. His dad was either at work or totally half in the bag, but not in like a bummer way, like in a totally fun, checked out, but not bummer checked out kind of way. What are you guys up to? That kind of guy. He's the best. So not my dad. Cling, 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 cling. You can hear him coming. So Todd was my friend. His older brother Paul, he taught us how to dose a tennis ball with WD-40, light it on fire, and play street hockey at night with we called it street hockey flame ball. He also skateboarded off the roof on a dare.
Yes.
And then he had 2 younger twins who were always game to just fight, almost to the death, for our entertainment. He told one of them they like Kate Savvy. It was on, and it went forever. It was great, and they had BB guns. Number 2, the Thomases, my wife's family. They've truly changed my life. I've known them now almost 20 years. And I went from having 1 brother to having 6 brothers-in-law and 7 sisters-in-law. And I think I have 320 cousins-in-law. And she went through it. I couldn't keep track. If you go to Ohio or Michigan and you drive into a house, it's a pretty good chance you hit a Thomas house. Someone connected with her family. And there's no one, it's impossible to get through, but there's Chuck, who literally says things like, this is a quote, "Flossing is one of the worst things you can do for your teeth." Other Chuck, who watches the same infomercial for the Time Life country music box set. He doesn't buy the set, he watches the commercial every night. Because he likes his Dolly Parton and George Jones in 5-second bursts. It's amazing. You watch it with him, it's fascinating. Chip, who speaks so softly. I have literally had a 30-minute conversation with that guy, and I have no idea what he said. And Don, who once characterized Fresno, California, quote, as, "That's just a place to put people." Those are just the men who have married into the Thomases. But they've taken me in, they've shown me such love, I'll be forever grateful for them, and now I know that a big bunch of family can actually be a great thing, even without a housekeeper. And then my number 1 is my family, my own family, which there should be a term that separates the thing that you are with the thing you had no say in. but it's me, Betsy, and we have our ups and downs, and we have a bond like anyone, like nothing I've ever known. And someday, if I'm really lucky, I will crack Owen's top 10. But nothing's guaranteed, right? Thanks, guys.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to this fantastic YouTube channel. Thanks. By like and subscribe, I mean, validate me, make me feel loved. So if you don't subscribe and like, then I'll know you don't love me.